Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge Fate Stay Night Remastered in der Unlimited Bladeworks Timeline. Wir sind jetzt gerade bei Sakura und haben vorher vor dem Haus noch mehr oder weniger vor dem Haus noch Tosaka getroffen, die offenbar da schon gute halbe Stunde Leute beobachtet hat. Aber naja, the Mato household was silent. Shinji isn't home and I don't see Sakura either. Just as I'm wondering what I should do.
Sakura が気になってきたの?
Tosaka asks if it's nothing. Tosaka, you know Sakura Mato? Ja.
まあ、ちょっと顔見知りなのよ。
Etwas mehr als das, aber na gut.
それより、弓道部の子はみんな病状がひどかったんで、新都の方の総合病院に移されてるわよ。藤村先生が走り回ってるのだって、それが原因でしょ。
What about Sakura?
今頃は病室で眠ってるけど。なるほど。そういうことだったわけ。
Oh, what's up with that evil smile?
別に。けど、そうよね。私への報告なんかより、いつも手伝いに来てくれる後輩の方が気がかりってなもんよ。私、エミヤくんのこと、ちょっと分かっちゃった。
Tosaka smiles meaningfully. It's really humiliating, but more than that, Tosaka, why do you know that Sakura comes to my place?
そんなの弓道部に通ってればわかるわよ。ほら、首相の三辻さんと知り合いだし、私。
She says as she starts going up the hill. Tosaka, are you going home?
ええ、ここにいても仕方がないし、キャスター探しはまた練り直しだし。明日、学校でアイデアを出し合いましょう。
Tosaka says goodbye and casually leaves. Then she looks at me seriously from a distance. Tosaka?
ねえ、ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
That's fine, but what is it?
その、例えばの話よ。もしさ、本人の意思とは関係なく、よその家に養子にやられたら、その子はどういう気持ちで育つのかな。
What is she getting at? A child that is adopted without any say, throwing away their previous life and starting a new life with a complete stranger. They say that you can choose your parents, but if I think about what a child who doesn't have any choice in the matter would feel being thrust into a situation with a stranger.
エミヤくん?
I shake off those thoughts. What am I getting emotional over? I shouldn't even need to think about this. Well, I don't think there's a specific thing they would feel. If the place they're adopted to is good, then I'm sure they won't have any complaints. But I'm sure there will be some issues if it isn't any good. Kids are pretty simple, you know?
そっか。そうよね。何当たり前のこと聞いてるんだろう、私。
Tosaka waves goodbye and goes up the hill. Her house and mine are in opposite directions. Well, I have to get home back. I have to get back home before dark. Dinner ends before I realize it. I came home, trained with Saber in the dojo. Fujine came home, I made dinner. The three of us ate, and now it's already past 8 p.m.
セーバーちゃん、もしかしてあっちじゃ有名な達人さんなの？セーバーちゃんが教え出してからこっち、シローったら別人みたいなんだけど。
それは私も驚いています。ですが、シローの死は別にいるようですから、私の手腕ではありません。
We are having our post-meal tea. It's good that Fujine and Saber are getting along. I don't want to interrupt, so I sip on my tea quietly and rest my body. Saber's training really did a number on me.
師匠が2人？ありゃ、 二股かけてるってことかな、それ。
本人に自覚はないようですがまあ結果がいいので黙認することにしました。確かにシローは自分に合った戦法を身につけた方がいい。体はとうに出来上がっているのですから、あとは自身をうまく動かす思考を組み込むだけです。
あ、セーバーちゃん分かってるじゃない。そうそう、シローはずっと鍛えてきたんだから、体はしっかりしてるのよ。今まではね、本人にやる気がなかっただけなんだから。
体を鍛える。確かにあのような道場があったのなら鍛錬にも身が入りましょう。加えて大河といういい対戦相手がいたのですから素質がないはずがない。
Saber nods emotionally and zips on her tea. Then
あの道場で剣道をするのは久しぶりだよ。セーバーちゃんが来るまであそこは剣道場じゃなかったもん。
Fujine corrects her while biting on a rice cracker.
剣道場ではなかった。シローは道場で竹刀を持たなかったのですか？
Saber looks at me with surprise. Well, no, I haven't picked up a sword since my old man died.
そうよ。シロー、暇さえあればキリツグさんと試合してたのに、キリツグさんが亡くなったら途端に竹刀を持たなくなってさ。私は悲しかったな。
Munch, munch. Tiger nibbles on the rice cracker while resting her head on the table. I have a bad feeling about this, or rather I can predict what's about to happen. When Fujine gets like this, the conversation always goes to.
ああ、どうしてかな。あの頃は剣道少年だったのに、今じゃプー太郎だよ。そりゃお世辞にも剣の才能はなかったけど、弓道はちょっとこの子大丈夫なのかなって思うぐらいだったのにやめちゃうしさ。
I knew you were going to say that, Fujine. Stop harping about the past. You're getting so negative. I glare at her. Fujine sulks and eats her rice cracker. Phew. She backed off this time.
ほう、シローの幼年期の話ですか、タイガ。
Yeah, she was over it. Why did you have to bring it back, Saber?
何？
Der Gesichtsausdruck.
はい、興味があります。
Das ist Folter für Shiro gerade.
よーし、ならお姉ちゃん話してあげよっかな。
The morale of the Fujimura army goes up due to reinforcement from the Saber camp. Not like I can stop her now. I don't want to interrupt, so I will quietly drink my tea. I will focus on resting like originally planned.
それでね、今はこんなにひねくれちゃったけど、子供の頃は可愛かったのよ。人のことを疑わなかったし、お願いすれば何でも二つ返事で引き受けてくれたり。でも妙に頑固なところがあってね、一度決めたことはなかなか変えなかったりしたっけ。そのあたりキリツグさんとは正反対だったかな。
キリツグはシローとは正反対だったのですか？
そうだよ。キリツグさんは何でもオッケーって人だったから、いいことも悪いことも人それぞれ、人生なるようになるさって人だったな。そのくせ困ってる人を見たら何とかしちゃうのよね。シローもそんなキリツグさんの真似ばっかりしてた。シローはキリツグさんよりはっきりしてたから、悪いことはダメだって町のいじめっ子をバンバン叩いてたっけ。その時からシローは正義の味方だったんだ。
Oh yeah, a hero of justice. Fujine happily talks about boring things. And besides Fujine,
なぜシローは正義の味方なのですか？
Saber asks a simple question. Well, it's hard to explain. I guess it's just because I admire people who do the right thing.
憧れている。その正義の味方に。
Yeah, well, I do. It makes me embarrassed when she says stuff like this, like just straight to my face.
それはどうして？
Well, it occurs to me just then. There's really no reason for it. I have admired people like that since I was a kid. I tried to be of help to people and support anyone that was said to the best of my ability. That hasn't changed, even now. But the reason behind it. Why did I try to be of help to people? You can leave your dream to me. That is the answer. The last moment of the person that meant everything to me. He died peacefully because of something I said. I wanted to protect that trust he had in me, even after he died, so that he would be able to rest in peace for an eternity. But is that really the real reason?
Shiro.
I hear my name and come to my senses. Oh, sorry, I'm going to my room now. I stood up, overwhelmed with unexplainable anxiety. I leave the living room as if fleeing that feeling. No. If about it, I ran. That was a simple question, but I was scared that something might come to light when Sarah looked at me with those eyes. Why? What am I scared of? An uneasiness that even I don't understand myself. A shapeless fear, nausea welling up. I hurried to my room, trying to suppress a headache. Fujini went home, saying she had work left to do tonight. Saber is sleeping in the room next to mine, just like yesterday. I stare into the darkness, unable to sleep again. It's not that I can't sleep because I'm conscious of Saber. Why would he act like that? Those words. It's because that question still remains in my heart. She asked me why, and I said I found them admirable. It's obvious why I ran away then. Because if she asked me why I admired them, I would have nothing to say in response. No, I do have an answer, but something is keeping me from saying it out aloud. The reason I want to be a hero of justice. Why ask that now? I was desperate to be like Kiritsugu when I was a kid. I admired people like him, because there was an ideal that I could not fulfill. That should be the source of it all. The true form of the ideal that I have now. No, the idea what I have had for the past 10 years. If I could save someone. I glared up at the sky, thinking that it would be a lie unless I could save everything. But which one is the lie? The ideal of justice that I admired. The older I get, the more I stray from it. The ignorant child that knew no bounds grew up, gained knowledge, and learned of a limit. That some truly cannot be saved. Miracles are beyond human ability. Even then, I believed that I could become like Kiritsugu when I grew up. Yet all I gained was the wisdom to decide that ideals are just that. All I can do is clean up afterwards. Even though I was made accurately aware that it is meaningless, I've continued doing what I can. Even if that means just saving one person. So my goal was to save as many lives as I could. I've lost in the scarlet things along the way. Also, I wouldn't lose the most important part. The reality continuously knocks me down. If my heart does not accept defeat, I can stand strong even if it's a bluff. That ideal, the ideal where nobody is hurt, is wonderful. You can leave your dream to me. Yes, if no one's going to. I just thought that I would inherit this dream myself. That's why I have to become a hero of justice. I have to succeed Kiritsugu and protect what he longed for. How good would it be if everyone could just carry on as before without making any sacrifices?
そんなものはこの世のどこにもありはしない。
Oh, shut up. I don't know unless I try. I desperately reject the words that popped up in the back of my head. He said to drown in my ideas. Ominous words, as if he could prognosticate my very fate. Ja, komm, ich speichere mal. Kapitel 9, My Dear Stray Dad. Oder Stay Dead. Ich glaube, das ist ein Stray Dad. Then I see his dream. The memory of the man who was celebrated as a hero. The story of a knight who was not understood by anyone. It is a simple story. At the very heart of the matter, there was something wrong with him. He had a reasonable amount of power and a fair amount of ambition. Yet he used his strength in the wrong places from beginning to end, and died a miserable death. It came as a reasonable consequence. Power exists to grant your own wishes. Pity does no good for others. There's a balance because the actions you take came back to you, also Kira regularly says. One is fed because the actions circulate to generate more vitality. But not having that means never being replenished. If one lives for someone else instead of oneself, it is obvious they would run out of energy right away. It would be like money if it were disposable. If others use it, there's nothing left for you. It's easy to take advantage of, and it is a given that it will be used. That's why in the end, he saw many betrayals, and his life was ended by someone he saved. It just makes me mad. I want to know why. He worked hard, made superhuman effort even though he was an ordinary person, and he accomplished a miracle with his own blood. His reward for that was betrayal and death, and though it seems ludicrous, he died satisfied. It's not my place to criticize another's life. It's not my place, but I can't stand that one major point. I've had this dream multiple times now, and that is my belief. Usually I wake up here. Yet, it seems like this morning there's more to this dream. He was standing in that hell. It is a scene of devastation by natural means, rather than human hands. I would make a contract. I will serve after death, and in return I would take compensation now. He weaves a spell of contract. Thus he was changed, as if possessed, and saved those who would normally not be saved. Oh, this must be how he became a heroic spirit. From this perspective, it isn't really that great of compensation. He probably saved a number not even in the hundreds. This is barely qualification as a hero with such a small number, and normally it wouldn't count for the level of a heroic spirit. Yet the number's irrelevant. The qualification is one who surpasses human bounds and is able to change the fate of those destined to die. Something that upends fate itself. It doesn't matter if he is not powerful like a hero, so long as it was a disaster that could not be avoided, however small that he changed. No, the world would gain a heroic spirit in return, as compensation for this miracle. He became a hero and saved many lives that could not have been saved. As a result, he became a heroic spirit after he died and now repeats the same things he did in life. And as a slave. I guess the payment for the miracle is to become a disposable tool and service of others even after death. Heroic spirits, superior spirits chosen by humanity, guardian spirits of humanity. but they are not ones with free will like servants. Heroic spirits, guardians of humanity. Guardians do not have free will. They operate merely as source of power. They are extermination weapons that are only summoned to protect the world when circumstances appear that could destroy it. They are summoned to destroy these circumstances. The servants system is nothing more than a ritual that uses these guardians. Guardians are summoned into any era. After eliminating the threatening circumstances, they disappear. I would hate to be like that, but he must have been determined to take on that role. In fact, he might even desired it. Nothing made him happier than being able to save people even after he died. Since he didn't have the power to save them, he was alive. He must have believed that he could avert any tragedy once he became a heroic spirit. With that in mind, he readily made a deal with the world to give up his life after death and saved 100 lives. After that, he believed that he could save tens of thousands more. What an idiot. There's no way that could be possible, because by the time a heroic spirit is summoned, where they appear is already gone to hell. Places where heroic spirits' guardians appeared are only hell. They only appear when the world is about to be destroyed by mankind. Humans are creatures that perish from their own doings. That's why the process of destruction is always the same. Jealousy, hatred, selfishness, desire. The man who laughed and tried to be of help to others was shown the same ugliness even after he died. He is summoned to such places and fulfills his responsibilities, just as the contract says. He killed. He killed and killed and killed and killed. He killed all the humans where he was summoned to save humanity as a whole. I don't know how many times he repeated it, nor do I have the means to know how many more times he will continue to repeat it. There's only one thing I can say. He has been betrayed by many things, but in the end he was betrayed by the only thing he believed in, his ideals. Und ich würde sagen, an dem Punkt beende ich hier diese Folge. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.